Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Anderson, and welcome back to the second part of the lesson about used to and would. On the previous lesson, on the previous video, the part one, we have studied used to. And this part of the video, we're going to study would. And also in the end of this lesson, we're going to practice with some quizzes. Very good. Before we start the main lesson, let's take a glimpse of what we learned from the previous lesson. On the part one, we studied used to. But why do we use it, and when do we use it, and how do we make sentences with used to? I'm sorry. Okay, first of all, used to. We use used to describe past habits. So past habits, the habits that you're not doing right now, that you used to do. So to describe past habits, you're not doing it right now, but you did it in the past, not in the present. And the repeated actions, the actions that you did several times repeatedly over a period of time, maybe 1 year, 10 years, 5 years, 2 years. You did that quite a lot. Okay, very good. Now let's move on to the next one. So not only we use used to just to describe the past habits and repeated actions, we also use used to describe extended past states and condition. Previously on the video, I said past states and conditions, it's simply saying is about you, is about something, but mostly is about you and yourself and myself and his self or herself, stuff like that. So let's have a look at the example here. I used to be healthy and fit. Does this sentence tell you that sentence tell you the action? No. It is not about the habit. It's not about the past habit. It's not about the repeated actions. The sentence tells you about the past states and conditions, which means the past version of you. Okay? So, I used to be healthy and fit, which means I was really healthy. I was healthy and fit in the past. Whenever it is, but it has to be past maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So, it's not about the past habits. We also can use used to describe extended past version of something. Okay? Very good. Now you're moving on to the would. Beforehand, let's summarize the functions of used to. So we have 3 functions. One, past habits. Okay? Number 2, the past repeated actions. And then the past extended states for a long time. Let's have a look at the example. So, used to can be used when you want to describe past habits, as I just said before. As an example, number 1, I used to drink coffee a lot. So, does this person drink coffee in the present? No, it passed, not anymore. What about the next one? My mom used to cook a nice meal when I came back from school. It also happened in the past. Used to cook. It means your mom is not cooking for you in the past. It's not Your mom is not cooking for you. She used to cook a nice meal. Okay, very good. Now move on. The past extended states. The past extended states. There used to be two cafes in the street. There used to be two cafes in the street. So this sentence indicates the two cafes itself. This sentence just tells you the two cafe used to be in the high street and it's gone in the present. But in the past, there used to be two cafes in the street, but now it's gone. What about the next one? I used to live in Coventry for 2 years. I used to live in Coventry for 2 years. So let me ask you a question. Does this person live in Coventry right now? No. It tells you that this person used to live in Coventry for 2 years in the past. Not this person. This person is not staying in Coventry at the moment, in the present. So this person used to stay in Coventry in the past for 2 years. But there is a now we're going to talk about would. We're going to start. So actually used to and would is almost the same. It is interchangeable. You can use used to, you can use would, and you can talk about past habits, you can talk about the past repeated actions with would. You can do it, but there is an exception. So when it comes to past extended states or conditions, talking about the something itself, talking about yourself or something just itself, you cannot use would. Let's have a look at the example. So, the past habits, when you want to describe past habits and repeated actions, you can use both. Let's read the sentence here. From number 1, I used to go to the gym every morning. I would go to the gym every morning. One more time. I used to go to the gym every morning. I would go to the gym every morning. You can use both. It has the same meaning. Okay. What about the next one? What about the next example? Same thing. My mom used to give me a cake when I was sad. My mom would give me a cake when I was sad. So they're still in the past. They're in the past. And we can use used to and would. But some students ask me, teacher, would is a past tense of will, but why do we use would for describing past habits? But in this context, but in this situation, we can use would. It's really confusing, but if you get used to it, it's gonna be okay. So, we use would. We also can use would to describe past habits and also repeated action. Okay, but what about past extended states and condition? When you want to describe something itself, when you want to describe someone like who is like yourselves, or the person itself, we cannot use would. So let's have a look at the example here. So I used to live in Coventry. So this person is talking about himself or herself. So I used to live in Coventry for 2 years. So I stayed there for 2 years. But you can only use used to. So I used to live in Coventry for 2 years. But you can use would in this context. You can use would when you want to describe past extended states or conditions. Okay? Very good. Now, let's summarize. Used to and would is pretty much the same. When you want to describe past habits, not in the present, when you want to talk about past habits and past repeated action, you can use both. Used to, would, you can use both. However, when you want to describe past extended states or condition, you cannot use would. Not in the would. Okay? Very good. Now, let's move on to the quiz. Number 1. Put used to into the sentence in a correct place. Put used to into the sentence in a correct place. So, we need to change the sentence into the sentence with used to. Okay, let's read the sentence from here. Slowly. I played football every weekend, my friends. I played, past. I played football every weekend with my friends. Aha, that's a repeated action. He didn't do it just once. He played football every weekend. So it's a repeated action. So we need to put used to in this sentence. How do we use it? Do you remember the structure? Yes. So in between the verb and the subject, we need to put used to. So I used to, and then, we need to change the verb, the past simple verb, into infinitives, the base form. I used to play. I used to play football every weekend with my friends. I used to play football every weekend with my friends. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Put used to into the sentence in the correct place. Again. So let's read the sentence here slowly. I shouted whenever I got angry at something. I shouted whenever I got angry at something. So, it's not happening right now. It happened in the past. So, it seems like a habit, so past habit, that habit which is really hard to quit, which is really hard to stop. So, I shouted whenever I got angry on something. Sounds like a habit. So, we need to make a sentence. We need to make a sentence with used to. How can we do it? So, I used to, change it into infinitive. We need to change it into base form, right? I used to shout. I used to shout whenever I got angry on something. Okay? Past habit, everyone. I used to, infinitive. Very good. Now let's move on to the next one. So put used to into the sentence in a correct place. So let's read the sentence here. This should be changed. There was a nice restaurant in this building. There was a nice restaurant in this building. So we need to change this sentence into the sentence with used to, right? So there used to. Okay. Here's the trick questions. So What is the base form of the verb was? Am, are, is. Are these base form? No. These are just the present form of was. Okay? The present form is specifically. So the infinitive of was and mr is be. Used to be. So the answer is there used to be the infinitive of was. There used to be a nice restaurant. One more time. There used to be a nice restaurant in this building. So that restaurant was in this building, but after a few years later, I don't know, but it disappeared. So there used to be a nice restaurant in this building, but I cannot go there anymore since it's closed. Okay, very good. Nice one. Let's move on to the next one. So you worked at a cafe 2 years ago. Okay, so repeated action. And you like to make a sentence about this. This means working at a cafe 2 years ago. So how can we make it? And you can pick two answers. Aha, two answers. So thankfully this sentence tells you the hint. Repeated action. One more time. Repeated action. Okay, let's have a look at this sentence. I at a cafe. I at a cafe. So this sentence needs to be changed into the sentence with something. Then how can we do it? So we have 5 options here. I can at a cafe. I am working at a cafe. I works at a cafe. I used to work at a cafe. I would work at a cafe. So which would be the correct answers? So they said we can pick 2 answers, right? So repeated action and worked, right? Which would be the answers? So we need to use used to, right? What about this one? I can. Well, it doesn't make any sense. So let's read number 1. What about number 2? I am working at a cafe. So am working, be plus ing means present continuous. It says it's happening right now. Is this person still working at a cafe? No. It's 2 years ago. It's 2 years ago. So it's the past. So the present continuous is incorrect. So not 2. Okay, number 3. Works. I works at a cafe. Well, even the form of the verb is incorrect. Why? Because the subject is the first personal, that we should use the base form of it. I work at a cafe. However, work, it means the present. It means the present status. I work at a cafe right now. Not the past, it's the present. So this is incorrect. So used to work, it means the past, and it means the repeated action. So we need to use number 4. 4 is the correct answer. Number 5, I would work. What did I say? We can use both. We can say I used to and I would. I used to work at a cafe. I would work at a cafe 2 years ago. Yeah? So we can use both when you want to describe repeated action. Okay? The 4 and 5 was the correct answer. Very good. Now let's move on to the next one. It's the last one, everyone. So, you want to talk about James' past states and condition. Oh, it means James, past version of James. So, how was James like in the past? So, how can we structure the sentence? So, James, lazy, but he isn't nowadays. So, let's draw a timeline to make it a bit much more easier. So, James, in the past, was lazy, but I think in the present, right now, he's really busy, hardworking. So, let me ask you a question. Is he still lazy? No, he was. He was lazy. Okay? How can we structure the sentence? We know James was lazy, but he's not in the present. When we want to talk about past states, what should we do? We need to put used to, right? It's a past states and condition. And also, we can use would. Is that correct? No. We can use used to when you want to describe past states. However, you cannot use would when you want to describe past states and condition. It is both possible when you want to describe habits or repeated action. But you cannot use would in the past states and condition sentence. Okay, so the answer is only just number 2. James used to be lazy, but he isn't nowadays. Okay, let's have a look at the rest of the options. Is, am, being. Is, am, being. So, they're both present simple and present continuous. James is lazy. He's lazy in the present right now. So, number 1 is talking about now. But am being is also the present, but present continuous. He is being lazy. Okay? Now and then now, but you're doing it. You're being lazy. Okay? Very good. So, everyone, well done. Very good. I hope you guys enjoyed two parts of the lesson about used to and would. I have prepared PDF file on the website, so please have a look. And if you have any questions, please comment on the comment board on YouTube, and I will kindly reply your answer. So have a look at the PDF file as well, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.